In today's episode, my screen exploded. Your grandson isn't here, but I am. The most powerful sticker. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My screen exploded. So everyone in IT has had their fair share of users being overly dramatic. No matter what facet of IT you exist in, this is a constant. This story happens to prove that while many are dramatic, there are a few that are telling the exact truth. At the time, I worked for a large 80,000 plus employee company and got a frantic call from the global head of HR. They happened to live about 20 minutes from where my office is located. User, hi. My screen just exploded? I'm really not sure what to do here. Me exploded? Can you elaborate? User, I think exploded about sums it up. I went to open my computer and it exploded. Me, okay, well, come on in and we can take a look. User shows up at my office about 30 minutes later holding the computer like it's a bomb. Me, hey there. Let's take a look. I take the laptop and immediately see shards of glass are everywhere. After gingerly opening the laptop, I see the right screen hinge is stuck in place, and probably torqued the ever-living hell out of the screen, spiderwebbing it, and sending glass flying everywhere. Me, well, I think you were right about exploding covering it. Are you okay? User, yeah, just a bit shocked. I have a presentation this afternoon, are you able to fix it? Me, looks at a mangled mess of glass, computer chips, and plastic. I think it'll probably be easier if we just get you set up with a new computer. Everything should be backed up to the cloud, but if it isn't, we can take the hard drive out of this and search for your files. User, thank God, I hated this computer anyway. I have a few more stories I'll share if y'all are interested. Lol. Your grandson isn't here, but I am. So let's get back to my first ever official IT work. But before that, I think I have to get a little more in time. I started to learn software development as a teenager, thanks internet, and was called the computer guy in my family even if my brother, twin, almost had the same knowledge about computer that I did back in the day. I was just able to code some small software, scripts, and web page. After my bachelor, I went to some IT/dev classes, and it went worse, way worse than I expected. I was bored by the basic stuff, I was far from home and family, I had no money, was eating once every 2 days, worst year of my life so far. I tried to keep up but the depression was here, and worst every day, until I definitely give up and go back home 1 month before the end of the school year and skipping last exams. At this point, I choose to let my computer away for a while, and spend my summer with my family, and a lot of time with my grandma, as she was not far from where I lived at the moment. I was getting a lot better when she died 3 months after I gave up my classes. I think I will never be as much broken as at that moment, to be honest, but I'll not talk more about this, as this is enough for the story. I don't know why, but I tried another year in university, IT stuff again, but close to my home, and not so good university, to be honest. I met a lot of people there, but I went in class for like 1 month before giving up. I still went to university to meet friends and work with an organization that was creating geek events around the city. It was a bad year for my professional experience, but a good year for my mental health, but still had to work with IT stuff for these said event. I definitively left school after that. I was a bit naive, and though that my knowledge was enough to get a job. Wrong. I spent almost 2 years after that working for a small organization. The goal was to help people get a small job, but for cheap cost for people or small company. Most part of that was old people asking for help for manual tasks because they couldn't do it. I met some nice people doing that work, and was searching a web dev job aside, which gave nothing. And this is where the good part of the story part. Before I came to this organization, they knew nobody that could handle IT work, so when someone asked for help with their computer, they told them they can't send someone to help. When they knew I was searching a dev job and was good with computer, they asked me if I could handle IT problems, and of course, for me it was more experience, more job, more money, full win. So the next time someone called for help with their computer, they send me. And it is where my story starts, more backstory than an anime. They call me one day for someone, not far from where I lived, that needed help because he couldn't get to his webmail. I said I could go the afternoon, no problem. I go the man house, small house just outside the town. I knock, and the guy told me I was quick, and show me what's going on. I go on the webmail page and yeah, blank page. I try an incognito and yeah, it works. So I check extensions, it was the ad block that was causing the issue. 5 minutes and it's done. I told him about that and he said it was his grandson that installed the computer, and he can't do much without him, but his grandson went on the other side of the country. As he talked about his grandson, I remember my grandma, previous year, if you can keep track of the time, and I started talking about her to him. After all, she lived like less 10 kilometers of him, maybe he knows her, and I talked about my grandfather's brother, who was living not far from here either. He died when I was young, and my grandfather died when my dad was young, so I don't know them really. And then we talked. I spent the afternoon with him for a 5 minutes work. At this day, I still stop to meet him every time I drop by, and help him for free if he need to. That was the first time and last time I did IT with this organization, as they quickly understood that IT problem will often be less than 10-minute works and not worth the effort for the low price they were charging to people, less than $20 per hour. There was a lot of backstory, not so much IT, a lot of English mistake, but I'm reading a lot of your story, and now that I work as an IT/sysadmin, I have a lot of bad story. And I wanted to share a good one. The most powerful sticker. IT people, I have done the impossible. You know how one of the most common gripes in support is how you can solve a large fraction of user problems just by rebooting whatever device is causing you grief? Well, I train my users to do just that. See, I use WhatsApp a lot at work to communicate both with my users and with my bosses and guys. Our region in particular has a very casual approach to work-colleague relationships, which honestly is a godsend. When I started here, I found myself asking, have you restarted, every day, several times per day. This takes several strokes of the keyboard, unacceptable. So I made it a WhatsApp sticker with a funny picture of myself and the text, have you restarted, and I got a lot of use out of it. Several times it became my sole interaction with the user in support tickets. Now it's been a year, and since then issues that just require a restart have dropped from my ticket queue drastically. Turns out when my users got a problem, they would remember the stupid meme sticker and try a restart themselves. Users would save the sticker and send it among themselves when they were struggling with their printers. I successfully and accidentally memed basic troubleshooting into the work culture of my site.